Hi there, Dr. Carmen McGuinness here with you. So many of you may have noticed that yesterday, the 13th of June, was the 3-month anniversary of lockdowns here in the United States, certainly for many states. I know it was sort of slightly different dates for some of us, but here in Florida, certainly it was the 13th of March when we were told that the schools would close and that we all had to go home and do our work from home. So today what I'm going to talk about is what we have learned from this experiment, us people working and learning from home. So stay with me. Now, of course, I realize that many people cannot work from home. And I'm not talking about an employer's decision, an employer's choice. I'm talking about the nature of the work. Yes, there is telehealth, but much of what goes on in the medical field has to happen inside of a medical facility of some sort. And that's just one example. There are numerous jobs that have to happen out in the field. But most office positions, most bricks and mortar desk type jobs can be done at home. So that's what we're going to talk about today, what we have learned during the last 3 months from what I'm calling an experiment, because it really is an unplanned experiment. In the U.S., the average one-way commute to work, just to start with that drive, is 26.1 minutes. I know mine is about, because of traffic, is about 35 minutes. That's according to the U.S. Census, 26.1 minutes each way, one way. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American works 44 hours per week. Not 40, but 44, or 8.8 hours per day. A 2014 National Gallup poll put the average number of hours per week at 47. So there's two different numbers for you. That's Bureau of Labor and Statistics. This represents 10.5 hours per day that do not belong to us. This is my time, your time, and it doesn't belong to us. Now, surely there's an argument that it is your employer's time, but is it really? Because so much of what goes on, even in the workplace, is about us. It's about our comfort. It's about our tolerance for certain things. And I'm not talking about tolerance to do the work. I'm talking about tolerance of everything else that goes on in the workplace. So if we add in 7 hours of sleep per night, which, by the way, is not actually enough, and we're at 17.5 hours per day, 57% of Americans take 30 minutes to get ready for work each day. So let's total this all up. All this totals up to about 18 hours out of a 24-hour day. That's a lot. That leaves us about 6 hours in each day that actually belong to us. It's no wonder we fill that time with alcohol consumption and television. And given that the optimum number of hours of sleep is actually 8 or 9, it's no wonder that we're grumpy and overweight. That's right, hunger and sleep deprivation are closely related, as the signals for each of these occur in the same area of the brain and are easily confused. According to a recent Gallup poll, the majority of Americans want to continue working from home. But what about motivation, you might ask? Does the work actually get done at home? I interviewed 6 clients currently working from home. These are my psychology clients, and all of my middle and high school students attending my private school and their parents. What I found was surprising, if not shocking. Employees reported completing their full-time job in 20 to 30 hours per week. And students at my school completed more than usual amount of work at the same level of accuracy in only 16.5 hours per week as compared to the 30-hour school week, and an additional 1 to 2 hours of homework each day. Employees cite office politics, gossip, discomfort, and noise as the top reasons why they are more productive at home than at the office. Now, if you've ever worked in an office, which most of us have, you know that it's not the coziest place. There's, lighting issues, there's seating issues, there's space issues, and the noise that was mentioned in these findings. Students, on the other hand, cite no disturbances from classmates, being able to do schoolwork when they're in the mood, and getting more rest as the reasons why they prefer to do schoolwork at home. And personal perks like, for employees, no commute, more sleep, self-scheduling, 24/7 access to family, and for some, myself included, access to healthy foods, fresh air, and exercise during the workday. And for students, more free time to explore personal interests, and bam, you have a heap of reasons why some of us don't wish to go back to the office or classroom. And of course, if you're an employer or self-employed, you might also enjoy the perks of no office rent to pay, no liability or workers' comp insurance, or phone, electric, or internet bills, etc., etc. The term work expands to fill the available time is credited to Cyril Parkinson. Those words first appeared in an essay published in The Economist in 1955 and were reprinted later with other essays in the book Parkinson's Law, The Pursuit of Progress. Published in 1958, this book put forward the idea that we should be able to reduce the amount of hours that we work per day and still be productive. Parkinson derived his now famous dictum from extensive experience working in the British civil service. And I do believe the recent unplanned human experiment, the COVID pandemic of 2020, has proven it is still so today. Something like this experiment might have been tested once before. In Great Britain, when a coal miners' strike forced the government to go to a 3-day work week. The strike occurred in 1972, and by 1973, January through March of that year, Britain was forced to go to a 3-day work week. According to the British Department of Labor, as reported in the New York Times, this is where I found the information, productivity was expected to fall by 40%, commensurate to the time lost. But in fact, it fell by only 10%. Our mission here today, should we choose to accept it, is to grasp this opportunity to reclaim our lives whilst also maintaining our responsibilities. Now, this is no small mission, given that the United States is founded on puritanical ideals which include the tenet that idle hands are the devil's workshop. However, I would like to propose today, food for thought for you, the counterpoint, that idle hands are the playground of the human spirit. So, I hope this has given you something to think about this week, as so many of you prepare to go back to your offices and other workplaces. And I very much look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments section. Now, next week I'm not going to be with you. I have a project that I'm doing for my work that is going to keep me away for a full week. And I will not return to YouTube until the following Sunday, which, let me just have a peek at my calendar, I believe will be the 28th of this month of June. And on my return, I'm going to talk about closing the gap, learning to feel whole again after a breakup. So that's what's going to happen 2 weeks from today. Until then, I hope you stay safe, and I will see you again 2 weeks from today.